Hi there. Today I want to talk about illness and productivity. What is spoon theory? How did it fall short for me? And how did I reframe it so I could stay productive even while I was going through chemotherapy? This is a framework that can work for everyone, so I'll answer all those questions, and at the end, I'll give you the keys to make it work for you. So, what is spoon theory? It comes from a blog post that was written by Christine Miserandino, and I'll link that in the description box below. Christine lives with lupus, and she was trying to explain to a friend who doesn't have chronic illness what it feels like to live with a chronic illness. Here's how she did it. Let's say you start your day with 6 spoons. Your activities each cost you a spoon, so you get up and get dressed, 1 spoon. You commute to work, 1 spoon. You have a long work day with lots of meetings, that's going to be 2 spoons. You get home on your commute, that's 1 more spoon, and you make dinner, that's a spoon. In the evening, you don't have a lot of spoons left to do much more than watch TV. Now, if you have fatigue or chronic illness, you start your day with fewer spoons. Just getting dressed involves getting out of bed and having a shower. That is 1 spoon. Putting on clothes, that's another spoon. Making and eating breakfast, there's another spoon. You see where I'm going? Spoon theory addresses both energy levels and the unpredictable nature of having an illness, chronic or not. Some days you have 4 spoons, sometimes you get 6. It's an incredibly useful metaphor for thousands of people, and nothing I say is going to take away from that. But here's my story. When I was going through chemotherapy, I was talking to a friend about my frustrations, and she said to me, "You just have fewer spoons." And she was right. Even though I understood that productivity does not define my value as a human being, during chemo, I realized that being productive does make me happy. Now, when I say productivity, I'm not talking about the sort of dude bro, 10x your life, do more, do faster, nothing like that. For me, it means being able to create, to contribute, and to just make progress towards goals. In other words, it's about feeling useful. After my conversation with my friend, I realized 2 things. 1, being productive makes me happy. And 2, spoon theory kind of made me sad, because the idea of having fewer spoons to me felt limiting. If I woke up and I knew that it was only a 4-spoon day, it sort of felt like a, well, why bother day? I knew that I couldn't be productive if I had no energy to spare, and so I had a tendency to give up. I started to think about how to encourage activity and productivity while at the same time accepting that my energy was going to be limited. Accepting was an important first step for me. In fact, for me, acceptance was actually productivity in the sense that acceptance was progress. It laid the foundation and it kept me realistic about what I could and couldn't do. Now, I like to garden, so I started thinking about gardening as a way to explain the nuance and motivation that was missing for me in spoon theory. Let me show you what I mean. When you garden, you can't just take care of the showy bits. You need to look after the whole plant. So you're going to need to deadhead or maybe pick fruit. You're going to need to make sure that there's sun exposure. You're going to have to watch out for the temperature. You're going to have to make sure that you're watering it. And of course, you have to take care of the soil structure and the nutrients. So you're working on different levels, and all of them are important, otherwise the plant dies. So in other words, you're working on the foundation, the stem is the structure, leaves provide nourishment, and then at the very top we have basically all the glory, which is the flower, the fruit, or the vegetable that you're trying to grow. I found that my capabilities can be sorted in the same way. So here's the Jedi mind trick that helps me feel productive on low spoon or low energy days. The glory kind of represents the best day. The foundation is my worst day. And in between we have good and, better than the bottom. So let me show you some examples. Okay, let's start with exercise. On my best day, I could do maybe a run or a bike ride. On a good day, maybe I could go for a walk. On a kind of better than worse day, I would be able to do some very gentle yoga. And on my worst day, all I could do was just move. Even if I'm stuck in bed, lift, bend or move my legs, roll around on the floor, stretch out my arms, circle my hands and ankles, just some movement. And I had to remember that working on the foundation is just as important as working on other levels. I was still working towards my goal of more activities. Here are a couple more examples for having a social life. On my best day, I might be able to go out for coffee. On my worst day, I'm probably stuck just sending a text. If it's a little better, I could phone a friend. And if it's a pretty good day, I could have a friend over for coffee. As long as that friend understood that it was probably a sit-down visit for me. What about cleaning the house? On my best day, I might be able to sweep and mop. On my worst day, honestly, it would be progress to just wipe out the sink. If it was a little bit better, I could unload or reload the dishwasher. And if it was a pretty good day, I could probably clean the kitchen. Any level here is progress. There are 3 keys to making this work for you. The first is that you need to define your levels. Your levels won't look like mine. You know what best and worst looks like for you. Number 2 is accept that any work on any level is progress, and it's just as important as working on a different level. Number 3 is to reassure yourself that you won't be stuck on any one level forever. Even with chronic illness, there are flare-ups and remissions. Our capacity expands and contracts depending on what's going on in our lives and in our bodies. So just know that even if you feel stuck on one level, you won't be there forever. And you can redefine your levels at any time to make more sense for what's going on with you right now. So what do you think? Does this flower framework make sense to you? Let me know in the comments. And while you're there, if this has been helpful, I would love if you could click like or subscribe to support me in making more videos about cancer recovery and better living beyond cancer. In the meantime, stay curious.